try was an all-eraser drawing. And I did drawings myself and erased them, but that seemed like 50-50. And so then I knew that I had to pull back farther, and like if it was going to be an all-eraser drawing, it had to be art in the beginning. And I went to Bill and told him about it, and he locked the door, and I started with a portfolio of drawings, and then, no, not those, and then went to another portfolio, and he said, these are drawings I would miss. So he pulled out one, he put that back, and then he said, now I'm going to give you one really hard to erase. And he picked out another. And he was right. I spent, I think, nearly 3 weeks with no fewer than 15 different kinds of erasers. And that made it real. I mean, that wasn't, I wasn't just making a few marks and rubbing them out myself. I may have said that painting relates as much to life as it does to art, or vice versa, but I don't think so. I said that you couldn't make either. And you had to work in that hole between.
What is that space between?
It's undefined. That makes the adventure of painting.
One of the key early pictures within the proto-pop movement, perhaps the most important of all, is rebus, which is a word that means puzzle. And in this single painting of Rauschenburg's, as early as 1954, there's a veritable anthology of the possibilities that are going to take over during the period that's coming up.
So I prepared a ground of newspapers, but colored sections, which happens to be the funnies. So that I had an already going surface, so that there wouldn't be a beginning to the picture. And so it'd just all be additive. I mean, it doesn't really matter what's inside. It's like when it stops, because you're dealing with an object, what it can make you think of how it could continue. You begin with the possibilities of the material, and then you let them do what they can do. So the artist is really almost a bystander while he's working. I mean, the hierarchy of materials is completely broken down.
In my first show of Rauschenburg's, there was a curious couple called Factum 1 and Factum 2.
I painted 2 identical pictures, but only identical to the limits of the eye, the hand, the material, adjusting to the differences from one to another. Neither one of them was painted first.
He wanted to show that nothing was really casual. Even the slashes, the brush strokes, the drips were calculated. And curiously enough, it was in defense of a movement that he moved away from. It was in defense of abstract expressionism.
My idea wasn't that I wasn't involved in chance as much as I was that I felt isolated. I wasn't interested in attaining a precious state of isolation.